What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and today we're going to talk about a company that I really like for the long term, but has had some very bad news come out against them today. The stock is down around 6.7% just today, and I want to talk about that stock, which is Activision. I want to talk about these sexual harassment claims. I want to talk about the potential, strike that's going to happen, and why Activision is down 7% today. And overall, would I be purchasing Activision? So this is going to probably be a little lengthier of a video because we have two major columns to go through as well. I want to give a little idea of Activision, the business, and some of the problems I have, yet also some of the upside to potentially entering this position long term, or even if you're looking to dip buy this, talk about that. And also the insane amount of call volume that came in after this stock dumped. I'm talking nearly about 45 to 50 million dollars worth of calls. So a lot of that I want to talk about, and let's get into it. So taking a look at Activision, like I said, down 6.77% today, was actually down nearly 10% today at one point. And you can see right here at about 11:22 when that news broke, this thing really took a major dive. I'm sorry, actually, the news broke at about 10 a.m. This thing took a major dive, dumped all the way down to $81.60 before finally bouncing. And I will start the video by saying I do have a position in Activision for calls out into February. I'll explain that position later on. But let's talk about overall why Activision is down so much. Talk about the actual article on why Activision is down today. But the first thing I want to talk about is the sexual harassment claims that are happening over at Activision. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty of it. It's not like it's just, unfortunately, one case. Of course, nothing is proven guilty until it's a court of law, but we're going to go over it. So Activision sued over frat boy culture. Now, one thing I want you guys to realize is that Activision Blizzard obviously is the same company, but kind of ran in two separate ways. Activision, a video game company known for being more of a pumping the crap out of video games, like new video game out every single year, like a Call of Duty, those types of games. And then you have Blizzard, where unfortunately a lot of their senior game developers and some of the big people over at that company left when Activision took it over. They kind of purged the whole Blizzard side of it because the two business models don't really work together. You have Blizzard, who takes 5, 6, 7 years to create a game that will last 5, 6, 7 years. Things like Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, forget the other one, StarCraft. And then, like I said, on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have Activision, which is a lot more corporate. So before that, there were a lot of discrepancies between the two companies merging together even a couple of years ago. And we saw that in the price of Activision cratering nearly 50%. If you take a look back here, 5 years ago, the stock went from, back here in 2019, went from highs of 84 all the way down to 40. And it was during this area that I was buying it for my long-term portfolio. But let's get into the allegations. So Activision Blizzard sued over frat boy culture and harassment. Maker of the games, including World of Warcraft, Diablo, fosters a frat boy culture in which female employees are subjected to constant sexual harassment, unequal pay, retaliation. According to a lawsuit filed by California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, a 2-year investigation by the state agency found that the company discriminated against female employees in terms and conditions of employment, including compensation, assignment, promotion, and termination. Company leadership consistently failed to take steps to prevent discrimination, harassment, and retaliation, said the agency. According to the complaint filed Tuesday at the LA Supreme Court, female employees make up 20% of the workforce at Activision and are subjected to pervasive frat boy workplace cultures, including, I read this is terrible, including cube crawls, in which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way through various cubicles in the office, also engaging in inappropriate behavior towards female employees. I actually read in another article that they're forced to be groped by these male employees. The agency alleges male employees play video games during the workday while delegating responsibilities to female employees, engage in sexual banter, and joke openly about rape and other things. Female employees allege being held back from promotions because of the possibility they might become pregnant, being criticized for leaving to pick their children up from daycare, and being kicked out of the location rooms lactation, I'm sorry, lactation rooms, so male colleagues could use the room for meetings. Unfortunately, I would say a lot of companies do this, as messed up as it is. I know a lot of executives are pretty open about not hiring women. It's very unfortunate. I know a lot of law firms. I'm not going to state any. I used to work um, in as a paralegal, but a lot of law firms will not hire women because it causes, especially good-looking women, as messed up as that is, because it causes quote unquote a decreased productivity, as well as women become pregnant. You might have multiple children within your career. It's messed up, but that's a pretty unfortunately common allegation that happens. Females working for the World of Warcraft team noted that male employees and supervisors would hit on them, make derogatory comments about rape, and otherwise engaging in demanding behavior. So it does seem like most of this is coming from the Blizzard side, which in my opinion, works. It makes, not going to say more money about Activision, but is the better half as far as content, not people obviously, but content for the business. The suit also points to a female Activision employee who took her own life while on the company trip with her male supervisor. The employee had been subjected to intense harassment prior to her death, including having her nudes passed around the company holiday party. The agency seeks injunction forcing compliance with workplace protections, as well as unpaid wages, pay adjustments, back pay, and lost wages, and benefits for the female employees. So that came out, I believe, last Sunday night. And then today we got this. So I was very surprised. Nope, that's the Academy. I was very surprised that the stock was not negatively affected last week. If we take a look at the actual chart, we still held this 200 SMA really well. I was very surprised we didn't see anything about this. But then today, we got this. So, Activision Blizzard employees to walk out following the sexual harassment lawsuit. Staff will meet outside Blizzard's main campus on July 28th, which is tomorrow. Activision employees are staging a walkout on Wednesday, July 28th, in response to the company's handling of sexual harassment allegations brought to by the state of California. Employees will meet outside of Blizzard's main campus in Irvine, California at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We believe, quote, that our values as employees are not being accurately reflected in the words and actions of our leadership, the organizer said in the statement. This news comes obviously after California sued the gaming studio and its publisher. Following the suit, numerous employees took to Twitter to detail additional examples of harassment and discrimination. Former Blizzard president Mike Morhaime also issued a statement saying, "I'm extremely sorry that I have failed you." Company denied the allegation, saying that the lawsuit was merely irresponsible behavior from unaccountable state bureaucrats that are driving many of the state's best businesses out of California. More than 2,600 employees. So guys, remember, this is not like a small amount. It's not like just 10 people, which still wouldn't make it right if it was true. But 2,600 employees have signed this letter slamming the company's response, and now employees are putting their forward 4 demands as part of the walkout. 1. So those are demands. An end forced arbitration causing all employees' contracts a change Google employees successfully fought for in 2019. New hiring and promotion process to increase the representation across the company. Employees say that the current practices have led to women, in particular women of color and transgender women, non-binary people, and other marginalized groups that are vulnerable to gender discrimination, not being hired fairly for roles when compared to their male counterparts. 3. The publication of salary and promotion data for employees of all genders and ethnicities at the company. And 4. Allow a diversity, equity, and inclusionary task force to hire a third-party organization to audit executive staff. It is imperative to identify how current systems have failed to prevent employee harassment and propose new solutions to address these issues. Now, obviously terrible news. As soon as this came out, we talked earlier, Activision took a massive fade, dumped nearly 10%. As soon as that happened, you can see that let me go back to the chart here, that right around this time frame from like 12:15 to 1 o'clock, we got a massive bounce. And this is what I want to talk about. So even with all these sexual harassment allegations, there was an insane amount of options flow. As soon as this thing faded, you can see right here, the sheer volume of flow, the amount of buying that happened to this Activision dump was insane. Normally, when you see something this fundamental about a company, that employees are walking out, that these sexual harassment claims are not small claims, they are absolutely insane, which Depending upon what the recourse is, it could get rid of top executive. It could do a lot of bad things for the company, not only for the employees, but if you're looking at it from like an investment standpoint. But we had a lot of calls come in. So the first things you're going to see is at 12:27, 917, 85 calls. We had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them coming up for about $1.5 million. They all came in at or above the S. So this person wanted to get in as soon as possible. These are the ones that I want to speak about right here. So this came in from 12:37 to 1:19. 2/18 2022 calls, 92.50 strike, so pretty far out of the money, basically trading even higher than we were this morning, so a 10% move to the upside. They were obviously calls. This person averaged up heavy into this position, so they started purchasing these shares, purchasing these options when Activision was trading at 82.31, averaged up at 82.90, averaged up at 83.25, averaged up even more at 83.83, averaged up again at 83.48, and then averaged up more at 83.79. This is not a small amount of money either, guys. First one, 480,000. Second, 201, 826, 749. There was even one that hit here for $3.38 million. So overall right here, you can see about $25 million worth of Activision calls, potentially even more. That's just on this one order hit. Then also too, you could see that near the bottom. So, we were trading right around 83.40. We had $60 million worth of Activision hit in dark pools, 52 million hit, and then a 60 million block canceled. So that's up to you to decide if those were buys or sells. Personally, I believe that they were buys, but only time will tell. So I wanted to make this video to, number one, bring to your attention the sexual harassment that's happening at Activision. Number two, to talk about the walkout. But number three, to just bring these calls to your attention. I did purchase 4 of these. I don't know why they're buying that heavy. I don't know if they expected this to be resolved very quickly. Not the sexual allegations, but maybe they're going to meet the demands of everybody who's walking out and, everything will be back to normal. I don't know, but for me, the risk versus reward when it comes to this position is massive, and so I decided to take it. Guys, let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Comment down below if you would be buying this. What do you feel about the sexual misconduct and all of those issues happening now? And I would love to hear from you guys. If you want access to every single trade that I take live as soon as I take it, live stream with me and my team every morning for the first hour of market open, get access to our 60-hour course library as well as our Discord. Go ahead and use the code DISCIPLINE and you can start 100% for free your first month. Thank you for all the support. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of our content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.